Story time. I went on a date with a very famous actor and it ended up being horrible. So we went out to eat at this really nice place in Miami, one of my faves. Everyone knows him. And I'm like, Lord have mercy. There's going to be no type of discretion. It was like the entire time people were in our face, looking, turning, watching. And I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. Anyway, we sit down, we have our table, we order food. And I don't even know how the conversation ended up here, but he starts talking about how he hates when girls wear Fashion Nova. Meanwhile, I'm wearing Fashion Nova. And I'm like, yo. So I'm too embarrassed at this point to even say anything. At the time, I work with Fashion Nova, like as an influencer. This is back before Instagram deleted my page, but whatever. I'm feeling really cute in my outfit, but I'm like, damn, sir. So we keep talking. We keep eating. The food was so damn good. I'm trying not to eat everything because I can eat a lot and I definitely am a plate clearer. But my outfit was really tight and like a light color, kind of like a stretchy material where I was like, yo, if we do anything after this, I'm gonna look pregnant if I keep eating. So I slow down. So we start talking about family and his family dynamics and my family dynamics. And don't know again how this comes up, but I'm talking about my father and how we don't have a relationship. Blah blah blah. How about this man starts telling me that I need to find a way for my father and I to be cool again. Sir, do you know this man? Do you know any of the reasons why we are not cool? Do you understand that there could be so many reasons, like he raped me, dropped the G, that we're not cool? Which he didn't, but either way, there can be a multitude of reasons that I'm not with him. And he was just like, oh, a lot of times people's moms don't tell you the whole story of what goes on with your dad, and then before you know it, you have animosity for him and it's not even real. And I'm like, it's crazy to me that men will literally defend other men that they do not know whatsoever off of the strength of what's happened in their current life. So I'm just drinking more. I'm like, Lord have mercy, what is this date? And he is a little older than me, so he has that, like, I know what I'm talking about, like, slightly condescending manner that I can't stand. So I'm hitting him with a shake your head, Jess, shake your head. Because if I say how I really feel, I'm gonna flip this table and dip. So I'm just like, stay pleasant, just get through this evening. And then it gets worse. I don't know how we end up here, but we start talking about Rihanna. This man starts telling me how much he loves Rihanna, how much he wishes he could date Rihanna, how much he would just do anything for her, how he's like a super fan and all this shit. And I'm like, bruh, who doesn't want to date Rihanna? She's a baddie, she's beautiful, she's from the islands. You done know all how to ting go. But can we not do that right now? Bruh. When I tell you this man, it went into strict and very definitive detail about Rihanna's appearance, about how classy she is, about how he felt like he would just suck her toes and just, it was insane. I knew I would never see him again after the day. I was like, yeah, this is dead. Like, we're never doing this shit again. I said to myself, it's so funny that a lot of women will think that dating men with status and dating these famous men is just gonna make life easier when they don't realize that a lot of the times, not saying always, but a lot of the times when men have clout or they have money or they have some kind of status, they have their own crap going on in the background that you're probably going to find out about, and they just make it really hard to deal with, and they're not willing to see their own crap because in their mind they're perfect and they're a catch and you should be lucky to be here. But yeah.
I don't see anywhere in this conversation where this guy had any crap. What crap did he have? All right, so let's break this down from the beginning. I called Cap on the visibility piece. We know that regardless of whatever it is status that you have, you don't even remotely have the type of status that you can have as a result of dating him. And so part of the reason why you got with him in the first place is because he got a bag or he is super successful in whatever it is that he's doing. And he has a lot of visibility. And so starting off this whole story is there's no discretion. Stop acting like you're more than what you really are because we know that you would die to be seen in person with a lot of these guys, right? Like, What we talking about? We gonna start it off like that. So you start off with the cap of the no discretion, right? And then the other part about it was she was talking about how the guy was given, according to what she described to me, positive feedback and positive information of how it is that you need to forgive your father, which is information that you voluntarily shared, right? You told him about what was happening in your family life and the dynamics, and then apparently you went to trauma bond and you started sharing details about how negative your perception was or whatever with your father, and he was telling you the truth. I don't see anything that you said that he said was wrong. Hey, listen, often at times the perception of what you may have of one person is all biased or is based off of what the mother shared with you. And so you need to forgive your father and you know what I'm saying, clean that up. Forgiveness ain't good for nobody. And so when you build that relationship, maybe you'll understand him better and you won't have a negative disposition towards him, and you're not sitting here on the first date telling me about how negative he is. And then she uses that to say that he's condescending, which she don't like. Which leads me into the next point when she said that I'm never gonna see him again. But it's not probably because you don't want to. It's probably because he not checking for you, which is another reason why he started going into the Rihanna situation and how awesome she was, and he was probably using her as a reference point to help you to understand of what you not and why he would suck her toes because of her disposition and all of that. But you took it to be because she was a baddie and not because of the fact that she moved the way that she moved in a room, regardless of what the situation is, which makes her that much more attractive. And so, she wants to make this seem like, which is my last point, that, these guys, they have their own baggage to deal with and stuff like that. Where at what point in the story did you ever talk about or did you describe something that he has that was baggage worthy, and he took you out to a nice restaurant, you had on a cheap dress from Rainbow, I'm sorry, Fashion Nova, and just because you're getting sponsored by it, you wanted to eat it like a smorgasbord and, you know what I'm saying, look pregnant and stuff like that. And y'all status and the way that y'all think that y'all are more than what y'all are, y'all should have been appreciative of the fact that he even was seen in public with you, and somebody of such status and celebrity and finances and resources. It would be a privilege of y'all to even be seen in the presence of any man, let alone one of the top men. And you fumbled, and you showed your hand. And obviously, he was situationally aware enough to be uh, in tune with what women are today. He might be watching the Anton Daniels from Anton Daniels show. And so he now is aware of what it is that he need to look for in a woman, and you not it. And so that's the real story, according to what you described to me and how I would um, describe how men think from the situation, because it's always one-sided. So we're not just going to take your word for it. We know that there's another perspective that comes along with it, and he probably ghosted you because he can get any woman. It's always another you, but it's never going to be another them. You know what I'm saying? So let this be a lesson to guys in general and to women. Don't think you more than what you already are. And don't get offended when somebody give you some advice on how you should be moving differently when it comes to your perspective towards men and your perspective towards your father. And just because he's a little bit older doesn't mean that he's condescending. He's probably giving you some good life advice in that small session. You probably should have paid him instead of been trying to eat up all of the food for free and then get a doggy bag. But neither here nor there. I'm curious as to what you guys think in the chat. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. I love you. I appreciate you. Don't let these chicks that's feeling entitled lead you off the pathway and let these women think that they're more than what they really are. They're just women. It's always going to be another one. I'm going to put a link to her profile in the description to her TikTok profile, because I always like to give credit where credit is due. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Let's tap into after hours tonight and see what's happening. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.